Okay, these are your notes for box plots. This is chapter 10, stop 4. So for box plots, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some vocab, and then we're just going to practice graphing a box plot. So you'll notice when you're graphing box plots, there's going to be some familiar terms that we were dealing with for quartile and interquartile range. We're going to be using those, all that data that we learned how to find yesterday, in order to graph. Okay, so box plots. A box plot, so a box plot is a diagram that is constructed using the median, quartiles, and extreme values. So that's your highest and lowest numbers. So highest number and lowest number, that's what your extreme values are. And so we use that information to graph a box plot, and then basically what we do is we put a box around the quartile values, and then we draw what we call whiskers from each quartile to the extreme value. So you could hear these called box plots, or when I was in school they called them box and whisker plots, hence the box and whisker. Both mean the same thing. This is what a box plot or box and whisker plot looks like. Okay, notice that there's a box and then these two lines that extend on the end. These are called the whiskers. So these are the whiskers. Obviously this is the box. So you've got a box and whiskers, and then these dots on the graph, well, that represents your lowest extreme or lowest number, your highest extreme or highest number. These two dots, that's quartile 1, quartile 3, and then that middle dot is your median. So everything that we were finding on stop 3, we're going to be using that and putting it into a graph. Okay, so here's our example. The list below shows the number of model airplanes owned by the members of the aviation club. Draw a box plot of the data. So here's my data. Fortunately, they've already put it in order from least to greatest for us. Thank you. But if they had not done that, my first step would to be arrange the numbers in order from least to greatest. Okay, least to greatest, which, as you have seen, proves to be the same step 1 on every single thing that we do, and it will continue to be like that. Then we're going to draw a number line that covers the range of the data. So if there's not already a number line drawn for you, you're going to go ahead and draw a number line that will go from 6 to 27. So you just need to be able to make sure that you can plot the 0.6 and the 0.27 on that, because everything else will fall in between. So if you look down here, they drew us a number line. Okay, so we've got one down here. It ranges from 0 to 30, which encompasses 6 and 27, our highest and lowest values. So we've got the number line here. All right. Then it says that step 2 is going to be to determine the lowest extreme, okay, the lowest extreme and the highest extreme. So we're going to figure out what's the lowest extreme or number, so lowest number, and then we're going to figure out the highest number. So looking at our set of data that's already in order, least to greatest, it looks like my highest extreme or my biggest number is 27, and my lowest extreme or smallest number is 6. Okay. Step 3 is going to be to find the median or the middle. Okay, so if I use my process of crossing off beginning, end, beginning, end, beginning, end, beginning, end, beginning, end, looks like my median is 11. So my median would be 11. Step 4 is to find the first quartile. Well, that is the median of the lower half of the data. So I want the middle of this lower half of data. So when I find the median of that, I get 10. Okay, so the first quartile, or Q1, that is the median of the lower half of the data. So we said Q1 was 10. And the next step would be to find the third quartile, or Q3, and we know that that is the median of the upper half of the data. So here's my upper half of data. If I was going to find the middle of that, that would be 16. So Q3 is 16. All right, now there's this big part right here. It says mark points above, this is important, above, not on, but above the number line where the median, which was 11, the extremes, so 27 and 6, and the first and third quartiles can be found. So all these numbers we just found, these extremes, the median, and my Q1 and Q3. We're going to plot points on the number line, or excuse me, above the number line. Okay, above, that's very important. So if we look here, our highest extreme was 27. They put a dot for us. Our lowest extreme was 6. So again, above the number line, they put a dot. Our median was 11. So dot about where 11 is. Our Q1 was 10. So I've got a dot about 10, and our Q3 was 16, so I've got a dot about 16. So you're going to draw your 5 dots, okay? Your extremes, upper and lower, your median, and your Q1 and Q3, okay? After we do that, we're going to draw the box so that it includes the quartile values, okay? So we would draw a box. And if you look down at this one, we drew a box through Q1 and Q3. Okay, we drew a box around through Q1 and Q3. We've got Q1 and Q3. And then it says to draw a vertical line through the median. So here's my median. I draw a line through that. And then we're going to extend the whiskers from each quartile to the extreme data point. So from the very end up to the box, from Q3 out to the upper extreme. Okay? So that's how you draw a box and whisker plot. So again, you've got to find your extremes, the median, and then Q1 and Q3. And then you'll be able to draw a box plot. These are probably my favorite graphs to draw. I just really like drawing them. I think they're fun. I like the name Box and Whisker, so I enjoy drawing these. So we're going to do 2 examples down here. All right, so we're going to draw a box plot for this set of data, and we're going to draw one for this set of data. So remember, in order to draw a box plot, we need to know the lower and upper extremes, the median, and Q1 and Q3. So first and foremost, we are going to put our numbers in order from least to greatest. So it looks like I start with 3, then 4, then 5, then there's another 5, a 6, 7, and 12. Okay, so now that I put them in order, I can label my extremes. So my lower extreme, or my smallest number, is 3. My upper extreme, or my highest number, is 12. Now let's find the median, so that would be the middle. So that's going to be 5, so the median is 5. Q1 is going to be the median of the lower half of data. Well, the middle of those numbers is 4. Q3 is the median of the upper half of data. The middle of those is 7. So now that I have all 5 of my points, I can go ahead and graph my box plot. So remember, as we're putting dots, we're going to put them above the number line. We don't want to put it right on it because then our graph is on top of the number line and it's hard to read. So I'm going to put a dot at my lower extreme of 3, my upper extreme of 12, my median of 5, my quartile 1 of 4, and my quartile 3 of 7. Now we're going to create our box and whisker plot. And the easiest thing for me to do is to draw my whiskers first. It's just easier for me not to get which lines go through what dots. So I just draw my whiskers first. So that goes from the lower extreme to the second dot, or quartile 1, and then from quartile 3 to the upper extreme. So I put my whiskers on first. That's just easier for me. And then for the remainder of the box, you can draw 3 vertical lines through your remaining dots and then just connect them. And there you have your box and whisker plot. Let's do that one more time over here on this example. So first and foremost, we are going to put our numbers in order, least to greatest. So it looks like 6, 8, 10, 11, 13, 17, and 18. So now we can go ahead and figure out our extremes. Our lower extreme is our smallest number, 6. Our upper extreme is our biggest number, 18. Our median is the middle, so let's figure out the middle. That would be 11. Okay. Our quartile 1 is the middle of our lower half of data. That would be 8. Quartile 3 is the middle or median of our upper half of data. That's 17. Now that I have all 5 of my data points, I can go ahead and graph them on the number line. So I'm going to have a point above 6, one above 18, one above 11, one above 8, and one above 17. And then if you want to go ahead and make your graph, I like to draw my whiskers first. It's up to you, however you want to do it. And then I draw my 3 vertical lines and connect my box. And that's how you make box and whisker plots.